everyone. Thanks for coming to Evie Unbounded. Today, I'm super excited because for me, it's not just any other podcast I have done. This podcast is me hanging out with my two best friends who literally are like my sister. Girls that I talk every single day through text and so on. And if one of us or any one of us didn't hear from another one, we literally would check and follow up and see what's going on. So today, my podcast guests are two of my best friend and sister, which is always very difficult to meet new friends in all age at this point, I think. So it's Marina and Jay. So let's welcome them to our podcast. Hi.
Hi.
So I'm so happy having you two on my podcast finally. We've been talking about podcasts forever, and our schedules is really, really bad. I mean, three of us, we all over the place, and we all have kids and being single mom, and it just is a lot of work. And also we all have our business going. Jay, you can tell us, you're doing so much stuff. I mean, the funny thing about us, we're such a good friend. I don't think we ever talk about our work, right? It's one of those things
Not a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't know why that is. I guess my defense is that there's so many things going on, and we talk about our personal life more than work. We all met through YPO, which is kind of like a business networking, young president organization.
She said official.
Don't even tell YPO. I don't even know what it means. I don't want to get kicked out. But don't follow me, YPO. Anyway, the thing is, like nowadays when you meet people are like the business setting, right? But I think our friendship obviously is more than just a business association. So I don't even know what we do. So you want to start, Jay? Introduce yourself since you're in the middle.
Hi, I'm Jade Sheppard. I am an entrepreneur. My journey started, when I was 26 and own a general construction firm for the military, but really goes beyond that and just like an amazing entrepreneurial journey since then. I have 3 kids. I am divorced. And have an amazing partner now, and live in a couple different places.
Is that a public announcement?
Yes, that is official. Wow.
Oh,
no.
I know. I'm like,
no, it's engraved
It's been
forever.
almost 2 years.
It's
Like,
cemented.
now that she asked you to announce it, like
on a podcast.
yeah, that's pretty serious. Jason should thank me for this.
Yes.
Oh,
His name's
I just
Jason.
announced his name
His
too.
name's Jason.
I just announced his name.
oh yeah, he's amazing. Yeah.
Jason's gonna kill me.
No,
But
he's
Jason
awesome.
probably be happy
Yeah.
one way or another. Okay, go on.
So yeah, it's been amazing. And like, the last few years, this midlife journey and, the reinvention through the divorce and love and business and friendships, it's all been incredible. So I love that, we've been doing this journey together with you guys.
Well, I want to add one thing before she forget, because I feel like I'm Jay's business PR person, because she never talk about how accomplished she is. And then I'm on the one.
Scarlet Society was really born, I think, out of this post-marriage journey that we're all kind of on. So go check it out, Scarlet Society.
And then I think it's really helpful for the audience.
Friends.
is really good for a lot of women, right? Because what she does is she actually opened up sexuality for women that we always shy away from or not discuss.
Yeah.
And being Jay, she's the bold one, I would say. And
very bold.
Very bold. And we're all very different, right? So
Yes.
I think among 3 of us, she's always like, one thing I admire about Jay is she does things that is authentic to herself.
Totally.
And she doesn't care what other people think, and she just go for it. And she's actually doing something that I think a lot of us wish we have the ball to do it.
Yeah.
Or just fucking do it.
Yeah.
I think I just cuss on the podcast, but you get my point.
Totally. I was just reading Jade's newsletter the other day, and
Read her newsletter.
Yeah.
She's gonna yell at you. She's like, "Give me your phone. Let me check."
It's such high quality content, and
Yes.
it really is targeted towards women over 40. So if you are over 40, you will relate to the stuff because it really encapsulates, being one of her best friends, I know like it really encapsulates everything that she learns, that she's passionate about. And it's just like really putting it out there in a fearless kind of way to help women. This is how she is giving back.
Yeah, and she is. Literally, she doesn't really need to do anything. She was retired, like, you were retiring.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she got bored.
Yeah.
And then I think that's another thing about all of us, right? Entrepreneurship. It's like you cannot never just sit there and do nothing.
Yeah.
We always wanted to come up with another thing. So a lot of times people said, oh, are you done with this project? Are you done with this work? You're like, yeah, I am. But sure enough, like a year or 2 years later, we come up with another thing.
Totally.
Right? All of us like that. So I think this is really come out of her passion and love and giving back, as Marina was saying.
Yeah.
So everybody should look into it.
And making things that kind of seemingly seem taboo, not so taboo.
Yeah.
Because I think we all think about things about like our sexuality and our friendships at a later stage of life and our career and our passions,
mental health,
everything. Yeah. Vaginal health.
I should have product too.
Yeah.
Which she didn't give me anything.
There you go.
Till recently, because I've been like,
I'll hook you up.
Okay.
I have a discount code.
Just kidding. How come I didn't get it?
I don't know.
Anyway, okay. we talk about this off the camera. I'm like, what the hell? Okay, go ahead, Marina. Introduce yourself to my audience.
Well, I think for the purposes of this podcast, I'm the marketer of the three of us, right? So I've been in direct-to-consumer marketing for 30 years and now have started a boutique advisory firm called Evie Unbounded. For females running companies in the direct-to-consumer e-commerce space. And I think that, just like Jade was saying, the reason the three of us came together was no accident, right? We met in a time and place where we were in our career, in life transition, in a post-divorce kind of world, like to find a sisterhood, like the one that we came across. And I always think about this because we're so different, the three of us.
How will you describe three of us? Or will you say different? I tell people we're very different too. You want to
go first, or do you want me to go first?
I want your take on it.
Well, I look at myself as the optimistic cheerleader.
Yeah, and you were actually one in college.
Yes, I was a cheerleader for lots of years.
You were the leader, right?
Yeah.
The captain. You're not just a cheerleader.
Jade's like the oak tree. She's got like, very firm boundaries. She's the fearless one, free-spirited one. Just a very like independent one. You're like the fairy of the group, right? You can't like sit still, but and we all interact in like very different ways. But I think what's undeniable about this threesome here is how much we love each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so beautiful because we came together in a time where we were like, coming out of our marriages, and we now had this friendship that was so strong and so supportive that whoever we were going to find next, it's like we're looking for a man to have this beautiful relationship, but not, like we already have this friendship. So it's like, we didn't need to find a man just to like have a human connection, because we already had that, is like the boyfriend can be the boyfriend and he doesn't have to be your everything.
But I think that's important because a lot of time I think women, or at least for my example, I think a younger time, you want a guy to complete or fulfill the missing part. Yeah. And then I think the true relationship, the true partnership is that you come as whole yourself.
Yeah.
And they come in as whole themselves. Right. So it's not you need somebody else to fulfill you. And then I think that's what make adult friendship so important, because we can make that ourselves.
Yeah.
So our partner doesn't need to fulfill that for us.
Yeah, and that's literally, I think you summed up our, last couple of years for sure, right?
Yeah.
I would say we all have been on this journey to deeper self-awareness, self-love, mindful consciousness. So we aren't carrying the judgments that we held in the past and everything that we were conditioned to do moving forward. And what I love about us is because just by the virtue of us being friends, we've had to learn how to love unconditionally, right?
Yeah.
Like our quirks are so different.
We're very different. Yeah.
And we laugh at each other in the most loving, unconditional way about how different we are.
Yeah.
And I think that's, that in of itself has been such a huge lesson for me.
Yeah. And then I think that, and that's another thing, because even in our chapter, right, they're always saying how close we are. But I think one of the things they always say, we're all very different. It's the only common trait that three of us have is we're Asian. And then everything else is very different.
Yeah.
But I think when they're saying that, I don't know if they're jealous, they're inspired by it, but
inspired. I'd like to play. I'd like to play that.
I would, yeah. But they always make fun of us. It's almost like we were like the mean. As long as I was like, we're not the mean girl, right? Because they always picture you get always together, you always bond together, and if one person doesn't like a person, or one person feels this way, all other two is like, yeah, we don't like this person. I'm like, are we the mean girls?
No. I think we actually balance each other out in that way. We help each other see different perspectives, right? I feel that all the, it's still I just turned 51 and it's hard to.
Do not mention my age, Marina.
I will, I'm not gonna.
You can mention your own age.
No, but I do think everything is a constant practice. And whenever you and Jade tell me your perspectives on other people, I'm like, oh, I never looked at it that way. Mm-hmm. It opens my mind.
Yeah, you tell them. Because, you tell our chapter. We're not the mean girl.
No.
So one of the things with the name that we come up with, a lot of people would say, what's joy look, right? Because we
our
always,
hashtag.
The hashtag on my social media, it was like us, I would put joy look. And people was like, what's joy look? And it was so funny. We have joy look.
Oh, there's the
It's actually one of my favorite movies when I was growing up. I didn't read the book because I hate reading. So I just watched the movie. And I think the movie was just as good. Now I don't even watch a movie. But the point is, how does the name Joy Look come about? I think everybody always asks me that. So how did the name even come up?
Okay, this is the silliest story. I think I accidentally created the name because I was trying to put us on a text thread and I was going to put the Joy Luck Club.
Yeah, we had been using the Joy Luck Club as our hashtag.
Yeah, as our hashtag. And then I typoed it and said
it
Joy
typo.
Lick. But sometimes some of our conversations are not so rated PG. I thought it was fitting that it said Joy Lick because it had a little sexual innuendo in there because we're always making dirty jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I thought it just had enough edge that's where Joy Lick came from.
And then I think our mutual friend Tony Cove, I actually brought a really good point. She was making fun of a name Joy Lick, and then she said, well, licking the joy. And then we are really licking the joy.
Cute.
So that's
taste and lick joy.
Exactly.
Okay, I love that.
I love it because that's what Tony said. And then I was like, you know what? That's a really good point.
Yes.
So we're going to keep the name Joy Lick. I'm not going to correct it. But
and we had bracelets made. I'm not wearing mine today. I'm in trouble.
But I'm going to say.
I took mine off yesterday.
Okay, you just take it off yesterday. Because I sent you that and I was like, we should get someone shit about that.
I'll put mine back on.
Yeah, you need to put it back on. So this is what we make. I don't know if people can see it. It's a bracelet and literally we put Joy Lick on it. It's my intent. And people ask me, it's like, do you guys spell it wrong or something? So now the mystery solved. You all explain how the story come about. Just think about we licks joy because we love joy so much.
Totally.
So that's how Joy Lick come about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so how is it having fun? I think a lot of time people are jealous or admire or aspire them that we still can find such a great sisterhood and friendship in our age and with how busy we are. We all single mom, divorced, have little kids. How how do we even develop that? Like, how that come about, you know? People always wonder, how can they have what we have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always tell people, I mean, I just feel so blessed to have met really good friends at this stage in my life. And for me, it's been a combination of a few things. Number one, there's like a common, like, you know, season of life that we're in. And for us, we're single moms of Asian persuasion, no pun intended.
That's another one.
And we were on our spiritual journey together, right? So there was a common like value driving bond that we had. I think that's really important. Secondly, we
It didn't
traveled.
start as a spiritual journey.
It did.
It started as
a crazy freaking weekend
trip to Vegas.
Yes. So that was my second thing, which is travel together.
And having fun. We have fun together.
And travel together.
Yeah.
And don't like be so quick to judge they're not my person, they're my person, they're not my vibe, they're not. Because you know what? At this age in your life, you realize like everyone is so different. Like if you can have fun together and travel together, traveling for us has been such a deepening experience. I think every time we go on a trip together, we get closer and closer and closer. And the third thing is like, you know, it's so cliche, but like vulnerability, right? We always share 1% with each other. We confess shit we don't want to confess.
Yeah.
We tell each other deep, dark secrets, knowing
You
that
have
like
to be willing to go there.
you have to be willing to go there.
I think it even goes even more basic than that, is that like, you know, there's that Harvard longevity study that talks about the people who live the longest in life. And they've done this study over multiple generations. And they found that the people who live the longest are the ones with the most connection with social networks and have a community. And the one thing I took from that is that, like, especially as we get older, you have to actively curate that small circle of people that are the closest to your heart, because what it is talking about is having 100 acquaintances is not what brings you that longevity and that sense of community. It's that like, yeah, that kind of like, who knows when you're not in town, or if you didn't come back from your trip, like who would know, you know? Yeah. And I think a lot of people, they think, oh, their childhood friends or their college friends are their friends for life. And then you get married and then those are your friends. But I like have always taken this away. Like if you have a circle and you plot it with, let's say 10 in that circle, or even 5, who are in that 5, and it has to be a constant curation, and it's a very active thing. You know, like friendship is not a passive thing. It's something that you actually have to put a lot of intention and effort into. And I tell Marina all the time, like, this is a 2-way game. If I invite someone out 5 times and they have never invited me out, like, no, this is a 2-way street, you know? So,
just like any other relationship, really.
It is.
So much work.
You guys are doing so much work.
Hello.
I'm just kidding. I
No,
love
that's
you.
why I was. Why are you doing me freaking single? Now I know why. Because I have
Wait,
fucking day with you
we were
two.
just talking about this, right? Which is like, you know, in like 2 seconds, right? So there's a certain amount of chemistry that has to happen, right? A certain amount of just like knowing each other's intentions, like real intention. And you're right. Like, I do feel like this relationship is work, but like in the best way possible. Like, I'm like, you know, there's a quote that always says, like, you know, it's your best friends. You don't have to bring them up to speed because they're living those moments in life with you,
that's true.
right?
Right.
And so, yeah, like if everyone's like, do you know where Evie is right now? Do you know where I do. I always do. I don't like, I don't have to. You know, I know when you guys are out of town and when you're coming back in town, for sure.
I know, you even picked me up from LAX. And I'm like, okay, she's picking me up from LAX.
Yeah, and Evie travels so much, so that is a lot of keeping up to do, okay? I'm just saying.
Well, look at this one too.
Yes, both of you.
But Jay brought a really good point, because I always thought, I don't know, I always thought it just should come easy, or if it work, it work. If it doesn't work, it shouldn't be this hard work. But then I guess even with friendship, you do need to actively make an effort.
Yeah.
no wonder she was like, we need to do this. Like, she would always like, we need to have dinner. And I'm like, okay, we'll just have dinner when we have time. But like, I didn't think was such a big deal. I just thought that it was a big deal for her. But now I understand why. It is a big deal for all of us. If we really want our friendship to connect and deepen, and I do. So that's why we had to make time. We had to be like, despite how busy all three of us are, I think it's important for us to always have at least that dinner. You know, she always said we need to have dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I get what she would say.
No, there was one night when you're like, we're going to dinner, and Jade's like, I'm in my pajamas, and I'm like, get out of bed.
Yeah.
Evie wants us to go to dinner.
Yeah. No, but I get it now because we need that. At least once a month. I mean, we can make that time.
It's been more than once a month.
Well, I know, but
I feel like it's
I'm
every
just
week.
saying we need to at least make.
No, we've been really good about it.
Yeah.
Really good. And I mean, that's the thing is like, if people are important to you, you'll make the time. Like, I don't buy, oh, I'm busy. I'm too busy to go to dinner. You know, like even I used to tell people, I'm like, who do you think you are? Are you President Obama? Because I mean, even he has time for his best friends, you know, like it's all about what's a priority in your life, you know,
lady, if the guy
says I'm too busy. Red flag.
That's a red flag. Oh my God, I got one red flag. I know.
Red flag. That's your red flag right
That's
there.
a red flag.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing red too. I always ignore red flag. Well, I don't even know the word flag. So I was like, I would never give people any relationship advice, but I just learned something from Jay about friendship.
No, for anyone that's listening, if someone says, you know what, I've just been so busy, that should be an insult to you. I'm not insult, but like it should tell you.
Right?
Yeah.
Even a freaking text. Someone can text you back. It takes 2 seconds. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. It's just when you were saying it, it kind of brought up some point that I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's so good. It's so intentional for you, hun. I love that.
Yeah.
But she's always been like
really
that, though.
important.
She's the most sentimental, even though it doesn't seem like she is. She's like very thoughtful. She's like a deep thinker, like, you know.
She surprised me with some of the stuff she said sometimes.
All the time. I'm so surprised.
Y'all look who's the bitchy one.
It's like all the time. Yeah.
People think she's a nice one. People think she's the nicest
I know.
one.
I have the cover of being the nicest one.
But she's not.
I'm probably.
I know people think I'm the bitchy one.
They think Jade's the bitchy one, and they think I'm the nice one, and and maybe it's the opposite. Or
yeah, because she. And then that's the thing about Jade. She doesn't talk much, but when she says something, it's very.
I'm working on it.
I'm like, I'm looking at Marina. I was like, I don't know if I can agree with her on that.
Here's another really good thing I think about having really good friends, right? Which is like, they always say like, it's the people that talk really good about you when you're not in the room. You know, I do think about that a lot, right? We know a lot of the same people. And when I get asked about you guys, like I'm like the biggest cheerleader. And I always really love to talk about you guys in a way that I know they don't see. The parts of you that they don't see. It gives me so much joy to talk about what they don't see, you know? And so because Jade is quiet, they're like, oh, you know, because everybody wants to get to know Jade, but they're like, I don't know if Jade likes me. Yeah, that's the biggest question. Does Jade like me?
That's what they always ask me. I'm like, no, she does. She doesn't like to talk. That's what I said, but she does.
Yeah, and so I do love that because I think that because we've been so deep with each other that we can communicate that about.
And then I tell them too. I kind of like what I tell them is if you really want to get to know Jay, do one-on-one. Like we tell to her, she would definitely come out and meet you for lunch and so on. She's not one of those girls would be like, oh, too far. I'm not gonna drive over there and meet you. Like she would reach out. She's like, okay.
I know. I just have a hard time in like group, like surface conversations, you know. But yeah, like I love to get to know people like the person that they are, but it's hard to do that in these like business network event type things, you know? But I mean, I'm working on a way to like put myself in like a more open like vibe so people feel like a different kind of energy, you know? It's something I'm working on.
I love that bit.
I know. She smiled more. Huh? She smiled more. Yeah. So I think it's really, especially now, like our age, I think it's really important to have a really good support group.
Yeah.
And I think being vulnerable is another thing that is hard for many, at least for me, because you have so much responsibility and you have like company to run and so on. And you have so much responsibility, not just with yourself, with your family, with your customer, business employee, and your parents and so on. So it's always very difficult to show the real you, right?
Yeah.
And that's something I need to work on. And then I
And
think
like, how special is it to find people who get every part of your life, right? Like you're a mom, that you're divorced, that you're a business owner, you know, like that's really special because we all have our mom friends, but they don't necessarily get the other parts of your life, you know, or business friends who don't know anything about you being your mom's side or your personal side, you know. So I think that's really special too.
And then I think as a woman, I think is even, I don't want to be negative. It's like, I don't want to say it's so hard to find another woman friend, like really wanted to empower you and really happy for you when you're making it. Because a lot of time I feel like there was always a competition. So
yeah, because what is the real name of our group right now?
Joylick?
No, what is it on the text message?
Oh, sacred.
No, it's Hype Joylick.
Oh yeah, Hype Joylick.
Oh,
right.
Hype. Oh, Hype Joylick. Yes, because we hype each other up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's so smart. See,
you're so smart.
She's
the
smart
smart one. She's the smart one.
We both agree. we all agree. So that's my.
No, because that came out of that video when Jamie Lee Curtis and it was Michelle Lee. Who was it? Right? Michelle Yeoh won the award.
Oh yes.
And Jamie Lee Curtis was like beyond excited for her and like clapping and screaming, and we were all like, yeah, that's what that post, it said, we all need to have friends who hype us up, right? Like who are that excited for us.
I totally forgot.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
When
you're right,
you
that's
have
why we changed it.
This is why we have a podcast to record these moments.
Yeah, so we remember it.
Yeah, so we celebrate each other's wins in that way, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
Oh, I love that.
Like a win for you is a win for me.
Yeah.
And that's important because I think it's really, at least for me, like, and it's also my fault because I'm not very vulnerable. I don't allow myself to be vulnerable, right? So I think, because you always feel like you have to be the strong one. So I encourage all the women out there, like, to be open, to be vulnerable, because when you are being vulnerable, that's when you can make really true connection and you can have really true people being there to support you and be there for you, right? But if you not allow yourself to be vulnerable and open, it's like nobody gets to know you.
I was just going to say that we were just talking about this at lunch, where it's like generally you know who you like in the first few seconds of meeting them.
I'm still learning that.
Right? So anyone that's listening to this knows that when you meet a girlfriend and you can just talk and you instantly know you want to be that person's friend, like, I encourage you to hold on and make an effort to reach out and set up a lunch date, become friends with that person. Like, don't let them go, because that initial feeling of even wanting to be friends, I think, is rare, right?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't even come up. So I encourage anyone that has that feeling with another, woman, be friends with them.
Yeah. But
that's
also,
how you make friends at this age.
Like I said before, like, curate that circle. So if someone isn't working out, don't be afraid to move on, and find someone else who does want to be in that circle. It's a two-way street. You reach out, and if they don't respond, then it's time to move on and find someone else who does want to take that place. So it's like a constant thing,
Reciprocity.
Yeah.
Oh, I know we talk about friendship, but somehow I feel like that also relates to romantic dating life.
All of it. Everything we're saying. Yeah. It relates to relationships in general.
Relationship in a romantic way or not, it's just relationship itself. You need both people like working on it, because if one person's working, then
same thing.
It doesn't work.
That, like they say, they're just not that into you. it works for men and for women friendships too.
Totally. Also, and then, you know, we talk about law of attraction and manifesting all the time, but I think that at a certain point, I recall us making a declaration that we are going to be there for each other. The three of us were going to be Joylic forever. And there's something in stating that out loud that makes it real for us. Now we're committed.
I'm the one wearing the bracelet,
know,
both of you.
We should have worn it today, Jay. Why didn't you remind me?
I don't know.
I did not even wear your ring.
Yes.
This is the ring.
Yes.
Okay, at least you got the ring. I got the crystal for Jay,
Oh, good.
the pendulum.
Oh,
So
good.
She have that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she feels
Well, I got her
special.
one. She broke it, or her daughter broke it.
You better not book the one I got you. So we're really into pendulum right now, in case people is wondering what we're talking about, because our other girlfriend, Mandy, was really into pendulum. She have like special talent and skill, and she got all of us hooked.
Yes.
So what I'm saying, the reason I brought up Mandy also is, and then when Jay asked me what's our name on the text group, we actually have we're so lucky, three of us. I mean, three of us are the closest, but even among three of us, we have a group of girls are just so amazing to us.
Yeah, we're so blessed.
And, you know, the Secret Girls and, you know, Mandy, Tracy, Tony, everybody, Helen, we're all there for each other. And then none of us get jealous of each other. Like, we literally really just want everybody to be doing the best, and we call each other shut out, you know, literally. Like, we're like, do you think
I love it when you guys do that. I love it. I look forward to that.
And then you're like, or we'd be like, are you sure this is what you wanted to do? Yeah.
Because it's safe, right?
Yeah.
It's safe. We've set ground rules that we all have to feel safe. We all have to not feel judged. We all have to feel that at the end of the day, like, we're saying this out of love and personal growth. So
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for both of you come to my podcast finally. So I know
Thanks
Jay
for having
have a
us.
flight to catch, so we have to wrap this up. But
Yes.
you guys will come back anytime.
Thank you.
What's up, mi casa, your casa? I don't know.
Mi casa y su casa.
Yeah, whatever. She got my point. I barely can speak English, so one language at a time. But thank you, and then definitely we need to pick this up.
Okay.
Love you, Evie.
Bye, Evie.
Mwah, mwah.
Mwah.